A really good one. Tamas, deep in the body. It rules the territory of your choices until you have mastered it sufficiently. Oh no, I don't need to do that. Oh no, yeah, it came, but then it didn't come in. I'm never going to get anywhere. It doesn't make any difference anyway. Tamas, story fed unwittingly, are giving it attention and acting on it. The way we step out of tamas is action other than what the tamas wants us to act on. Believing in something other than what the tamas wants us to believe in. To begin to have enough discernment to notice that this is arising in our space rather than it's us that's arising, this part of us. Because remember, you have all parts. You have the part that fails on the spiritual path. You have the part that succeeds on the spiritual path. You have the part that finds God, can hold God, and then you have the part that lost it all and is in debauchery and distortion and madness. You have all these bits and pieces because you've already lived them. They've already happened. You're here because you've been through that already. And if you're not, you would have left already. And you wouldn't have even shown up. And if you're watching this, if somehow this gets to be on YouTube, I'm sorry for you. You should not watch this unless you're ready for disruption. Because this is a now that doesn't have a past or a future. When you watch this, it'll be the same fucking now. Wherever you are, it's that now. Where you're sitting, where you're riding on your bike or climbing the hills or fighting with your wife, whatever it be, that is the now. And it will speak. It'll impact. It'll blow up. That which is still not true. But it does no good if you're not prepared, if you're not organized yourself, if you don't have structures in your life that are based on what your being calls you to be. There are many young awakened beings on the planet right now, but they don't have structures. They don't have enough of an ego. They don't have enough establishment of themselves as individuals in the world. They haven't come to cause for their inabilities to bring themselves into the world. They haven't owned the territory enough to question it and to be willing to be taken beyond it. But if they do, they will very, very quickly recover the capacity to know why something like this YouTube would show up in their lives. See, I know the future and the past. I know how these things work. I know the nature of the timelessness of truth. I know it's packed lies through thousands of years because I created the Bhagavad Gita. It went quiet. It slipped below the surface of human awareness. And then when I started reading it, it started emerging out of that quietude and started coming to life. It came to life because I read it and because I got it. And the forces and beings and the qualities of the song became more articulate to me. And as I became more articulate to me, I recognized it was my song all along. And it gave me a voice, and it demanded me to do what I'm doing. It gave me the power and the structure and the definition. And I did not know these, Shree Aurobindo. I knew Mirabhav, but I didn't know him the way I recognize he is, as I do now. It is this quality of bringing to existence that which has been forgotten. So yes, this is an eternal path. This has always been the opportunity of all humanity ever. But within the shroud of poverty and survival and superstition and fear and battle and conflict and the ruthlessness and the violence of civilized life in the early days before it became what we know it to be now. Be clear that the structures that humanity live in right now are the most favorable for the unfolding of spirit that have ever been on this planet. That conditions of government, the cooperations that are occurring between countries, even though there's war and strife, there's nothing like what it was 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years. We're living in a golden age. And we still find lots to be afraid of. We find lots to complain about. We find not too bad. We go back there and live 10 years in, the year 2000. Go back another couple of decades to the 1700s. Go back to the 1600s. Man, you'd be lucky. If you survived till you were 30, you probably wouldn't be alive enough to watch this, even if this could be possible. No, we are in a special time, a rare time, that I can sit in this place thousands of miles from many of you, in this time, hours different than your time, in this immediacy of this now. Yeah, it's a miracle waiting to happen already, just by circumstances.